Hello and welcome to the first edition of the Hot Corner. My name's Andrew Sperling and I'm going to be joined by a guy that's got his feet well and truly on the ground in the Australian Baseball League, in Mark Chuckles Chandler.
Spells, thank you.
Good, and we're going to be looking at everything throughout the 40-game regular season of this new Brut Australian Baseball League. And we'll be looking at previews, reviews, we'll be having some commentaries and some interviews, some highlights packages. Hopefully quite a bit of things.
Quite a few, mate. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, we've got 2 new teams coming into the season, 8-team competition, a lot of games of baseball, 10 weeks, you know, virtually 3.5 months of the season. And we hope a lot of people get to the baseball, and no better than this weekend. We start with 2 teams, 2 games tomorrow night, and then the other 2 games start on Friday night. So we're looking forward to a great season.
Absolutely. A little bit of housework first. We just want to thank the boys that have propped the show up from the start, in Jamie Cloden and Brooke Kilpatrick. Did a fantastic job. So to those 2 boys and kicking off the Hot Corner, fantastic stuff, and hopefully we can do you proud and keep it rolling. So it's going to be quite an interesting year, Mark, because bringing in the Auckland Tuatara and obviously the Geelong Korea. You know, our first sort of inroads into Asia.
It's going to be interesting. I think the ABL is all about, is in a broad spectrum, trying to get that brand out. We're trying to get the game of baseball in Australia. We need to project it all around the world. We want to get into Asia. We want to get back into the States, the United States. We want to maybe get into Europe later on. But Asia looks like the country first. That it's really hitting off. We saw some change last year. Adelaide had Tyson Chang come down. It created a lot of media hype all around the world, I guess, especially in China.
Yeah, well, the CEO, Cam Vale, is hoping that this might spread to a 12-team competition in the future. So he's got some scope with obviously the Chinese league that potentially coming in, potentially Japan.
Yeah. So we look like putting a team in the Chinese Professional Baseball League next year. In a minor league situation. Cam's also come out and said that the competition in a couple of years' time, or 3 or 4 years' time, there's no reason why it can't be extended to 10, 12, 14, 16 teams. So it's going to be interesting to see the resources available around Australia, and also interesting to see the resources that are pulled from overseas to get the game up and running back to where it was. As you know, well, I was a young one going through. I'm not saying you're old, Spells, but 20 years ago, the Adelaide Giants, and how popular it was then. It was big time 20, 25 years ago. We had a great weekend out here last year when we had the Adelaide Giants weekend, and that's from a personal point of view. I really love that weekend. So we'd like to think that at some stage baseball, will hit the heights again where it was 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah, I think one of the issues and the problems was simple financial. To send 30, 35 odd people around the country, accommodate them, was a really difficult thing. The sponsorship wasn't there, and hence that the league fell away. But I'm really impressed with this year, with a lot of the teams now being privately owned. And we've seen the Adelaide Crows come on board and buy the bite. They're going to tiptoe their way through this, I think, and see how it all goes. But to have such a powerful football club venturing into the Adelaide Bites, extremely promising.
It's interesting, and to go on from that, it's going to be interesting to see what the other teams have done. I know that everyone bar Melbourne at this stage have their ownership in place, so it's going to be good going forward. Once again, what the Crows can do for baseball, not only for Adelaide Bite but for baseball South Australia, and I'm sure that they've already done inroads in that, and we've seen that with the link with the Chinese, and they've gone into Asia, they've gone into the Asia market. They're going to bring more players out. We're going to be sending people over there. It's sort of like an exchange type program. So it'll be great for baseball in this state, not only this state but every state in Australia, to get it off the ground running.
Absolutely. Well, look, we might take a short break. We'll come back, and again we'll have a look at round 1 of the ABL. We'll be back soon. welcome back to the Hot Corner, and we're going to look at round one, specifically Brisbane and Adelaide. So it'll be held in Brisbane. As we know, Holloway Field is an extreme home ground advantage for Brisbane. It's really difficult, I think, to actually analyse, because all new franchises, all new teams, whole new squads in, keeping their core, of course.
It's going to be interesting to see how Adelaide sort of go up and react to. Look, they had a good off season. This time of the year, everyone's going well, everyone's recruited well until we hit that first round. And I think Adelaide are in no different position than anybody else. I think all 8 teams are in the same boat. Adelaide have recruited heavily in the Australian department off season. We've had the additions of Whitefield, Edwards, who I got to see in Colombia with the 23s. Michael Garnes come on late, again pitched 2 games well in the 23s for Australia and Colombia in the World Cup recently. And we've also got the return of the Sheriff in Stephen Welsh. So look, offensively, absolutely they've upgraded. To me, the jury's out on the pitching, but I think all teams are sort of in the same boat spells. In the same boat. So, Brisbane also, Brisbane are Brisbane. They've won the last 3. We all know how good they are. What have they done? They've upgraded with their Chinese players. A couple of players aren't coming back, but they've replaced them with players that are already made, jumped straight in. And we've seen last weekend in the 3 games against Auckland, the pre-season games, that they're going to be right up there again. So.
Well, when you retain TJ Bennett and Lutz, who were very dominant as long ball hitters last year, they've pinched Luke Van Mel off of Adelaide, who'll stiffen up the back end of their bullpen, and it's also given them the bonus that they can potentially move Searle to the starting
rotation. So they've got 4 Australian starters. So 4 Australian starters is a great asset to have in any ABL team. So I don't envisage them losing many games as they did last year. As I said, it's all opinions, of course, and that's what we're here for. But Brisbane and Adelaide this weekend, I'm going to tip Brisbane to win that series. But it's imperative for the Bite to get off for a good start. I think we've shown in the last couple of years that we haven't got off to good starts. If the Bite can come back 2-2, or maybe definitely win 1 game, if they come back 2-2, and that'll springboard them in the next 2 weeks at home against Melbourne and Perth, and they've got 2 home series. So, the Bite 2-2, even if they can come back, and with great confidence from the series this weekend, a lot of people just thinking Brisbane are going to rock up and just turn on Adelaide. I don't think so. I think both teams are going to score plenty of runs in that ballpark in Holloway, and we'll see. But I expect Brisbane to win that series first off. Yeah,
well, I mentioned to you before that they've had a look at the Brett ball, and they've remodelled it a little bit.
Thank God.
I think the ball was just jumping off the bat. A record of home runs last year in the ABL. So I think that might slow things down just a little bit. Look, Adelaide, for one reason or another, last year when they were perhaps at their lowest, still snatched some wins off of Brisbane.
We did.
Which was pretty important. So
first team to beat Brisbane up there last year. And they didn't like it either. So, but that's the competitive nature of the Bandits. Their home turf. They're the 3 times defending champion. They don't like getting beaten at home. So, but again, it's a wait and see. I think it's a wait and see with Adelaide, and a lot wait and see with all teams, but especially wait and see with Adelaide after the dismal year last year we had. So, let's just hope that they get off to a better start than last year. And as I said, if they can come back from Brisbane this weekend with 2 wins, it'll give them a great springboard for the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely. I agree with you, and I'm still a massive emphasis on youth here in Adelaide. Curtis Mead, I'm suspecting might roll into second base. Mickey Reynolds, who's touted as a real prospect, will fill shortstop. Welshie will play third base. McCarthy will play first. So there's, still with Clavel and young Griffin Weather getting a youth contract. Still a lot of promise for Adelaide.
And there's a lot of players, and especially in the youth division, and that rookie list that they announced the last week or 2. A lot of players. I saw Tyson McKee pitch on the weekend in club ball. He pitched very well. There's another young lad coming through. I'm sure he'll get some action, especially at home. Look, Adelaide have invested in youth in the coming years, and let's hope that for the competition's sake, that it's a tight competition and it's a tight start of the season, but they'd be looking to really get 2 wins this weekend. But as I said, Brisbane for me.
Yeah, Brisbane for me too. I think Adelaide might snatch one of those games. We'll take a short break. We'll be back in a moment.
All right, Aaron, going against your former team this weekend, what feelings do you have personally heading back to the old stomping grounds?
I'm excited, take my new team back there and give it to the Bandits and, hopefully bring 4 wins back with us.
And what are you bringing that maybe you've learned from winning 3 championships at the Bandits to a young Adelaide Bite team here?
I think just that winning mentality. We the last 3 years I've had a lot of success up in Brizzy, and I want to bring that success down here and teach the boys, what it's like to win.
And how does your excitement level for this ABL season compare to other ABL seasons?
As I said, everyone since I've been here, it's the most excited I've been to play ABL, new environment, new surroundings, new bunch of young guys that I'm looking forward to playing with.
And what stands out to you about the makeup of guys out here so far?
Just the overall talent. Like, we can run, we have power, a lot of youth out there. So I think we're going to be the most exciting team out there, and will be a lot of fun to watch.
And finally, at the end of the weekend, what statement do you hope to make after opening round?
It's a tough one. I hope that we put a big stamp on the ABL, and to let everyone know that we're here to watch out for.
So welcome back to the Hot Corner. The game we're going to have a look at now is one close to your heart, Mark, and Melbourne v Canberra.
Oh, you're terrible, Scott. You're terrible. So look, both teams looking to improve on last year. Of course, Canberra played off in the championship against Brisbane. Melbourne just missing out at the end. John Deeble and Keith Ward going at it. Keith's taken over from Michael Collins.
Michael's still there.
Michael's still there, of course.
He's an
assistant role. So we're good to see Keithy take the reins. He's been there since the inception, I believe. I stand to be corrected on that, but it'll be great for him to get some exposure. As far as Melbourne Aces and John Deeble, well, they'll be looking to go 1 better or 2 better than what they did last year after they finished up. Luke Hughes now coming into the frame to join his old buddy Alan DeSam as well, of course, 2 ex-Perth Heat guys.
What can you tell us about that? Because it's quite a move for them, because that Perth group is just very strong.
Yeah, it looked interesting. I think it was moved a couple of months ago. I think there was one of those rumours put around on social media that Hughes was going to Melbourne. I think it's got something to do with the family side of it. Look, good on him. He wants to play on, obviously. There's a chance playing somewhere else. Melbourne have gone on him and picked him up, so it's only good signs for Melbourne, of course, and the rest of the competition that he is still continuing to play. But Darryl George, Josh Tolles isn't there. He's in the Dominican Republic, I believe, to start off with. Again, I stand to be corrected on that, but that'll be a huge loss for him. But I'm sure Deebs and his recruitment team have done a very thorough pre-season look at things, and well, I think they're in the right spot to kick off the season. So in Melbourne, again, a tough series to commit to for a win from either team. Again, let's look and see. I'll go 2-2.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you on that one. I think there are a couple of very well matched up teams, both well coached. They've had a terrific record of late. I think they're going to go head to head, and it's going to be a wonderful game. And why don't we move straight into the, as you said, perhaps the toughest one of the lot, the Blue Sox versus Geelong Korea.
Well, Geelong Korea, the unknowns, and according to some outlets the other day, that they're the pre-season favourites for the whole competition. So very interesting to see. Some people might have some stuff that we don't know about Spurs, but I'm sure we're going to get to see Geelong Korea expose themselves on the big stage here, base themselves down in Geelong, obviously. They hit the road the first week against the Sydney Blue Sox, managed by Tony Harris. It's going to be interesting to see, as I said before at the start, every team, of course, Geelong Korea we don't know a lot about, but Sydney, along with the other teams, have like to think they've recruited well. Again, Jack Murphy come on board from Canberra, of course. And they've retained the core group of their players. Josh Dye coming back from injury. It's great to see Zach Shepherd and these players still playing for Sydney. So again, a real tough one to start off with. Geelong, Korea, the unknown. Sydney, they'll be looking to make the playoffs after a couple of years in the wilderness, if I can say that, fellas. I'm sure you wouldn't mind me saying that. So, a tough one to start. 2-2 again, mate. Sit on the fence.
Yeah. Well, one thing we know about Asian teams, disciplined, determined, that they've got all the attributes, exactly what you want. They're not here to, to make up the numbers. So it's going to be really interesting to see them go. And Sydney, I think for the first time, Coach Harris has actually had a real touch and feel as to who he wants. And I think he's assembled the best list he's had for quite some time. So this is do or die for Sydney.
Yeah, totally agree. So, again, two teams, we could say evenly matched. We don't know a lot about one, we know a bit about the other. So, Geelong, Korea, Sydney, we'll go for a split that one, 2-2.
I'm going with you. We'll take a short break. We'll be back in a second.
Holloway Field in Brisbane on a sunny Sunday afternoon for a winner-take-all showdown in the ABL semi-finals.
Leaps and he makes the catch!
No hit from the left side, and swinging first pitch, bouncing.
Oh, this ball is absolutely pulverized!
Koo zones in, and that ball is hit weakly back to Koo. It's a routine play, fires into Josh Dean, and the Blue Sox win themselves a ball game.
Very distinct Japanese high leg kick and the pause, but it's easy to see why he's such a fan favorite back with the Seibu Lions.
Ball comes home. Williams laces it back up the box for a base hit.
As Delvin Young has hit a home run to right centre to give the Aces a 2-run lead.
I'm here to help the team wherever I can.
Yeah, nice play. He gets to it. He knows as soon as he drops to his knees.
First pitch here to Chi-Chen Lin is swung on and hit towards the left field line. 2-home run game for Chi-Chen Lin.
The 0-2 to Collins. Popped up. Shallow center. The shortstop Wade is there. He makes the catch. And they've done it again. A new dynasty has emerged in the ABL. The Bandits are back-to-back champions.
Welcome back everyone to the ABL Hot Corner. And I've got a little session now called Grill the Big Chuckler. So I'm going to chuck some questions at you, big fella. I want some serious, deep, honest answers from
You could have told me these three questions before, because I don't have any idea what you're going to ask me. Is that correct?
That is correct. So my first one to you is Auckland being on the road for the last 6 weeks of the season. How's that going to affect them?
It's going to affect them, I believe. Look, they play Perth first week, as we know, and then they go back home and play Brisbane, Canberra, Sydney at home, and then the last 6 weeks they're on the road. It's going to. I just don't know how they're going to finish up. Never know what. Totally surprised the spells early on in the season. Is it going to take a toll? I believe they're going to stay in Australia and do the old road trips for the last 6 weeks and not fly home after each series. I believe that's the case. It's not going to be a good last 6 weeks. I just feel as though it might take their toll and they might suffer a bit, but we don't, it's just an opinion, of course, so we don't know how well they're going to go in their first season, but being on the road the last 6 weeks, it will affect them, I believe. Let's hope they get off to a good start. Let's hope they pull some crowds in Auckland and then they hit the road for the last 6 weeks. I do expect them to take their toll on them late this season.
Well, according to Chuckles, we'll put a big line through Auckland straight off the bat. All right, Adelaide bye. I think they had the worst record of any team since the inception of the ABL back in 2010. I think they notched up 8 wins last year. 11.
Thank you. I was part of 11.
Okay.
Thank you.
So how are they going to bounce back?
They're going to bounce back. I think they're going to bounce back. Offensively, they've recruited very well. Obviously, Whitefield, Edwards behind the plate. Welsh has come back. Greg Mazzell The record last year didn't reflect how well he pitched, I believe. 1-7, I think his ERA was above 4.5. I think he's going to have to be one of their anchors. We've got 2 import, or we've got roughly 6 import pitches this weekend. I think they'll go close, but I don't expect them to make the playoffs. So it's going to be, it all comes down to the bullpen spells. A bullpen for every team, as you know. To me, I just worry about innings 5 to 8. We struggled in that department last year, and as you know, you alluded to it before with the Brett Ball situation. A lot of pitching changes were made in the 3rd or 4th innings of games last year. Let's hope that doesn't start this year, and Adelaide's one of those teams that probably can't afford that to happen early. Can they make the playoffs? They can make the playoffs. Do I think they will? Do I think so? No, I don't.
There you have it once again. So a little bit of a finger up for the Biden. So they're on the upward slide, and obviously having to try to exceed 11 wins.
They'll exceed 11 wins. Right now. They'll get more than 11 wins.
Fantastic. Now, the ABL, Chuckles. What's next for it? What do you think, if you're rubbing your crystal ball, is the next step for the ABL?
I don't think it may be at the top of their list, but we've seen in the last couple of weeks teams play some pre-season games. We see Auckland went to Brisbane last week and played 3 games. We saw Sydney and Canberra hook up for 2 games on the Saturday after Sydney played a club representative side on the Friday night, I think. We saw Adelaide play a representative side last weekend. We saw Perth do the last Perth do with they had an all-time heaters game, I think, on the weekend. But before that, they played again a club representative side. I think if the league's expanding and we're having pre-season games like this, let's have a pre-season weekend. So I know it's all about logistics. I know it's all about the almighty dollar with the ownership coming in. I would like to see last weekend, as an example, the 4 teams in the Southwest Division come here, play 2 games on the Friday, 2 games on the Saturday afternoon, have a function Saturday night, play 2 games Sunday mid-morning, and then early afternoon, jump on a plane and go home. I think it's a far better preparation for the managers. They know what they're up against. The pitchers know what they're up against. I'm not having a dig against the representative players from the club teams that are on that next level or way we come in to the ABL. I think teams will be far greater prepared if we could have a weekend where, okay, let's have three 7-innings games against the opposition and let's see what we've got. I mean, all teams scout, as you know, but they'll be better prepared, their pitchers will be better off, their hitters will know what they come up against in week 1 when it counts. Whether the ABL can do that, we've seen Brut come on board as a naming sponsor. Can we get somebody for a pre-season weekend like last weekend? What do you think?
I think it's fantastic. In actual fact, I think it's far too intelligent for Chuckles. We'll have a short break. We'll be back.
This is a message to our rivals. We are Perth Heat. And there is a fire that burns inside us. It burns during a 5 a.m. gym session. And it's fueled by the sacrifices we make. Intensity is not just a word to us. It's a way of life. And we'll keep coming. Every step. And every breath. You better be ready. Because we're bringing the fire. The heat is on.
So welcome back, everyone. We're just about there. I've got one little big question for you.
No. What's it going to be, Spells?
Who's the blowtorch on, Chuckles?
Week 1, the blowtorch.
Who is the blowtorch?
The blowtorch, week 1. And people are going to be probably a bit surprised by this answer. We don't know about Auckland. We are expecting Adelaide to improve. The blowtorch for week 1 is fairly and squarely on the Sydney Blue Sox. I think if they can get off to a good start, against Geelong, Korea and Canberra the first 2 weeks at home. They travel to Brisbane week 3. They don't want to go to Brisbane under 500. They come up with Auckland, they hit the road against Auckland in week 4 and then come home again. But the first 2 series against Geelong, Korea and Canberra, they could probably afford to go 4-4. If they go 5-3, even better for them coming up against Brisbane in Brisbane. But if they fall below 500 the first 2 weeks, they come up against the red hot Brisbane Bandits in Brisbane. The blowtorch is fairly and squarely on them. So week 1, the blowtorch is on the Blue Sox.
I'm right with you. I think for the first time, as I think I might have mentioned before, Tony's had a bit of an opportunity to pick and choose his players. He knows what he wants and how he wants it. He's been a bit maligned, I think, in the past and for here as well, but I think he did the best job he possibly could do here. But I think that he's accrued the team he wants. He's got everyone on deck, very few restrictions. No excuses.
No excuses this year for Sydney.
Blowtorch.
The blowtorch
is on the Blue Sox.
Is on the Blue Sox bills. The blowtorch is on Sydney week 1.
Just week 1.
Just week 1. It changes week to week. So it could be on someone else next week. You never know. Some teams might come up for week 2 and start 0-4. And the blowtorch is going to be well and truly on it. But week 1, Sydney Blue Sox for me.
Great stuff. Well, we're just about to wrap things up here. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back next week. Hey, if you want to jump to your park, please get out there. The format is that if you can't do it Friday, you can do it Saturday. If you can't do it Saturday, you might do it Thursday night. So get to your local park, support your team. If you want to ask us some questions, we'd love to hear from you. Jump on the ABL Hot Corner and throw us some questions and we'll endeavour to answer them. From Andrew Sperling, Mark Chandler, until next time, this is the ABL Hot Corner.
Holloway Field in Brisbane on a sunny Sunday afternoon for a winner-take-all showdown in the ABL semi-finals. Hit from the left side and swinging first pitch, bouncing.
Oh, this ball is absolutely pulverized.
Koo zones in, and that ball is hit weakly back to Koo. It's a routine play, fires into Josh Dean, and the Blue Sox win themselves a ball game.
Distinct Japanese high leg kick and the pause, but it's easy to see why he's such a fan favorite back with the Sydney Blue Lions.
Ball comes home. Williams laces it back up the box for a base hit.
As Delvin Young has hit a home run to right centre to give the Aces a 2-run lead.
I'm here to help the team wherever I can.
Yeah, nice play. Gets to it. He knows as soon as he drops to his knees.
First pitch here to Chi-Chen Lin is swung on and hit towards the left field line. 2-home-run game for Chi-Chen Lin.
The 0-2 to Collins. Popped up. Shallow center. The shortstop Wade is there. He makes the catch. And they've done it again. A new dynasty has emerged in the ABL. The Bandits are back-to-back champions.